Black people, we all know we like fried chicken. That's a black thing, right? If you black, you identify with that, right? We all like watermelon, right? We all like watermelon. That's a black thing, right? That's what they think. I don't even like watermelon, but that's just what they think. It's a black thing, and most of us just identify with these things. Most of us identify as with being black with soul food. Most of us just it's just what it is. I'm black. I eat soul food. You get what I'm saying? That's just what it is. I ain't never even looked into nothing else, right? So that's the reason why so many different getting into it health problems. What is up, y'all? This is your boy Justin with the Mind Peace Woke podcast. Hey, I appreciate y'all for being here with me on the real. Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all here with me right now at this moment. So, hey, thank y'all for that. I appreciate that. All right, I want to ask first, how is everybody day going? How was your week? How was your day? How was your week? Today is a Monday for me. I don't know when this podcast is going to drop, but yeah, today is Monday. So, how was my week? It was decent. My week was decent. Um, can't really think of anything special happening. Regular days, pretty smooth days. Nothing dramatic. You feel me? But I want y'all to ask yourself, how was your week? How was your day? How are you doing? You feel me? I ask people that on a daily basis pretty much while I'm out on Melrose selling my clothes. And most of the time when you ask somebody that question, hey, what's up? How are you doing? You feel me? They're just like, oh, well, I'm good. But I want people to really think about it for a moment. How are you actually doing? How are you actually doing? You feel me? So just take a moment to actually think about that. And I hope all is well. But today's episode is gonna be a good one. Today's episode is about identities, about the different identities that we carry around on us, and how those identities can separate us from other people, of course, but also how those identities can separate you from you, separate you from being a better version of yourself. You feel me? So, identities, most people, I mean, even from birth, where it's so many different things that we choose to identify with. You feel me? It's kind of like a natural thing to identify with something. But what we have to understand with different identities, when we identify with different things, almost any identity, then we have to either not like the opposite identity. That's usually how it go. You usually just don't like the opposite identity, or you feel that identity sometimes and sometimes you don't, right? So, or you identify with the identity just way too hard. You get what I'm saying? It's just way too much. So my point is, we have to try to look at the identities that we identify ourselves with and see if they're actually beneficial to us, or see if they're harmful to us. You get what I'm saying? We have to actually look into the identities that we identify ourselves with. Do you feel me? Because I don't believe that we have to identify with certain identities to live. I don't think that's a requirement to live. You get what I'm saying? I think all the identities that we live by are the things that's separating us. All these different identities that we're living by, I believe, are the things that's separating us. And I also believe that getting rid of the identities that you hang on to so deeply, so intensely, can possibly grow your life. You get what I'm saying? Because, I mean, just look at it. Me, if you're looking on camera, I'm clearly what they would call black. Duh. But what does it mean when you identify as black? What does it actually mean? Because there's so many different black people. You get what I'm saying? So it's hard to really even know what it means to identify as black. But if you pay attention to what's going on around us and what the world is painting the picture as, then pretty much if you identify with being black, then you have to pretty much identify with those things, or you're probably looked at as, different or weirdo or whatever you want to look at them as. But black people, we all know we like fried chicken. That's a black thing, right? If you black, you identify with that, right? We all like watermelon, right? We all like watermelon. That's a black thing, right? That's what they think. I don't even like watermelon, but that's just what they think. It's a black thing, and most of us just identify with these things. Most of us identify as with being black with soul food. Most of us it's just what it is. I'm black. I eat soul food. You get what I'm saying? That's just what it is. I ain't never even looked into nothing else, right? So that's the reason why so many different getting into it health problems, because you only identify with eating soul food. So just think about the things that you identify with that's possibly harmful to you. You get what I'm saying? And look into yourself and see, just because you're so-called black or something, that whatever it is that you identify as, are you doing certain things just because you're identifying with that? You get what I'm saying? Are you acting a certain way just because you identify with being black, or whatever the identification is? You get what I'm saying? That's harmful to you, because usually we identify with stuff that's harmful to us on a regular basis. You feel me? We're not identifying with the positive side of different stuff. It's just identifying with harmful stuff. You feel me? If you black, then you gotta be outraged about any random name, Trayvon Martin, the most recent one, whatever's going on. You gotta be outraged about it because you black. If you black, if some white dude look at you in your face, tell you that you a nigga, you gotta be mad as hell. You gotta be ready to kill him because you identify with being black and he called you a nigga. You gotta be ready to kill him now. You black, right? You black, right? You supposed to be upset about that. You a nigga. If a white person call you a nigga, you supposed to be upset about that, right? Because you black. You identify with being black. So that means to the society, to the world, you feel me, pretty much, that if you identify with being black, a white person call you a nigga, you supposed to be ready to kill him over it because of some words. All because you identify with being black. All because you identify with being black, you supposed to be ready to kill somebody over some words. All because you identify with being black. You understand what I'm saying? You ready to kill somebody over a racist slur, or whatever you would call a racist slur, because you identify with being black. You ready to throw it all away because you identify with being black. You get what I'm saying? That's just one thing. That's just the extreme example. You get what I'm saying? But it's all types of little stuff that we do on a daily basis that we identify with. We wake up pretty much every morning. We don't we don't work out. Guess what? Because we didn't see different people doing it when we was growing up. We didn't identify with that when we was growing up. We didn't identify with that when we was growing up. We all heard eat an apple a day, keep the doctor away. We all heard that. We all heard that we supposed to eat our greens, make us big, strong. We know what healthy foods are. But we'll rather eat something that's quicker, something that's, you get what I'm saying, might taste better to you at the moment because that's what we identify with. We identify with short-term happiness instead of long-term success. That's just what we identify with. We want the $100 right now. Give me the 100. Give me the 100 right now. Right? Because I don't want the 200 next year. I might not even be around. You get what I'm saying? Give me the 100 right now. That's what we identify with. We just got to start thinking about the things that we identify with, y'all. You get what I'm saying? For real, because some stuff that we identify with is harmful to us. You get what I'm saying? We identify. Sometimes we identify too much with ourselves. You get what I'm saying? You identify so much. You identify so much with yourself. You feel me? You so attached to yourself that if somebody call you ugly, you mad at them. Somebody done called you ugly, you mad at them. You feel me? You so worried about this and that because you think they gonna say. You so worried about what other people gonna say because you so identify with yourself. You so identify with your body. You so identify with what you see in the mirror. You feel me? You so identify with it that you can't even be yourself because you worried about what somebody else gonna say. You get what I'm saying? We have to try to figure out where we identifying, what are we identifying with, and see if it's harmful to us. You feel me? Because some of that stuff, some stuff that we identifying with, it ain't working. It ain't working. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying, y'all. We gotta figure out. We gotta figure out. You feel me? Why we're choosing to identify with certain stuff. You get what I'm saying? Some people stuck in poverty simply because they identify with it. You feel me? They identify with it like they comfortable in the hood. I done heard people say so many. I'm comfortable in the hood. I'm comfortable doing this. I'm comfortable doing that. Growth is only uncomfortable because you already identify with non-growth. You already identify with the stuff that you used to. You already so identify with the stuff that you used to that growing, any type of growth, going to the gym, changing your diet, any type of growth is difficult for you because you so identify with the other stuff. You so identify with everything else. You so identify with everything else, and you obviously don't see the benefit in the growth. That's the reason why you're not doing it. You feel me? You obviously don't see the benefit in it. You feel me? You got to figure out, what are you identifying with? What are you identifying with that's possibly holding you back? You feel me? That's possibly stopping you from going to that very next level. You got to figure out what it is that you're identifying with. Identify whatever it is that you identifying with so you can possibly eliminate it, modify it, whatever it needs to go. You feel me? Move up from it. Most people still are identify with the stuff that they was identifying with at 20 years old. You get what I'm saying? Like you 30 now or whatever. You still identifying with the stuff that you was identifying with at 15 years old, and you 20 now. You 25 now. You still identifying with the stuff that you was identifying with at 40 years old, and you 50 now. You get what I'm saying? So just look into ourselves and figure out what are the things that we identifying with so much that we ain't let go yet, that we ain't actually looked into. see if it's still helpful to us. See if it's still useful to us. You feel me? We have to figure out the things that we are identifying with and let them go. And let them go. I guarantee you let go of all these identities that you holding on to so deeply. You'll be able to actually live. You'll be able to actually see some peace in your life. You'll start worrying about everything else. You feel me? You'll stop stressing out about everything else. You get what I'm saying? Some people so identified with the car that they drive themselves that they get mad in traffic. You get what I'm saying? They get mad at somebody else is doing in traffic. Like, I'm telling you, it's all an identity issue. It's all an identity. We identify with so much. We identify with the person that's always on time. So if something getting your way while you driving to wherever you going that can possibly make you late, then you so upset about it because you identify with the person that wanted to be on time. You identify with the person that, you get what I'm saying? And ain't nothing even wrong with the person that want to be on time. But if you identifying with it so deeply that you ready to kill somebody because in traffic, you get what I'm saying? Because you so upset, because you so mad about it, then that's where it become a problem. You feel me? All these identities, it's going to keep you separated from yourself, and it's also going to keep us separated as humans. It's all going to keep us separated as human beings if we don't figure it out, that we all identify with different stuff, and that's what's separating us. That's what's separating us. You get what I'm saying? We all a lot more alike than we are different. We all are a lot more alike than we are different. And all these identities that you keep identifying with is what's keeping us separate. Not only from each other, but keeping you separate from you. Your best self. Your higher self. You get what I'm saying? Because you identifying so much with the lower side of you that you can't even reach those higher goals. You can't even reach them because you so identified with not doing better. You so identified with what's regular. You so identified with what everybody else is doing. You're trying to walk the same path that everybody else is walking, instead of choosing your own. Instead of choosing to choose your own path. You get what I'm saying? We have to look into the things that we identify with, y'all. You feel me? And see if they helpful to us, down to the smallest things. Down to the smallest things, all the way up to the greatest things. You feel me? Like the height, like we got to figure out, are these things that we identify with beneficial to us? You feel me? We got to figure out, and if those things are, like, how? You feel me? What are those things even to us? You feel me? What does that even mean? Like if you identify with being good, like I'm a good person, you feel me? I'm a good person. I do whatever, you feel me? You identify with being a good person, whatever that means to you. You have to identify what that means to you. Like, what does that even mean to be a good person? What does that even mean? You get what I'm saying? Because most of us can't even really tell you what it means. And if you do tell yourself what it actually means, then, like, if you've been truthful, you're not even it. You get what I'm saying? And you're definitely not it 100% of the time, right? So what are you gonna start saying? I'm a good person. I mean, most of the time. Like, if you gotta add that, then you're not a good person. It's either a good person or not a good person. You get what I'm saying? It's not a most of the time type thing. So if you gotta add I'm a good person most of the time, then you're just not a good person. So stop identifying with it. Just let it go. Oh, what does that mean? I'm a bad person? No, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. You don't have to identify with being a bad person either. Just because I say don't identify with being a good person does not mean you're gonna automatically identify with being a bad person. You don't have to identify with neither good nor bad. You don't have to identify with neither good nor bad. You just don't. You just don't. It's all just separation. If you consider yourself good, then you're looking at the next person like he bad. And vice versa or whatever. You get what I'm saying? So what's the point of it? What's the point of the identity, period? What's the point of it? You get what I'm saying? It's just a way to separate things. You feel me? Especially when you running around stating what you are. All right? If you running around stating, man, I'm a good person, I guarantee you the furthest thing from good. If you running around acting like or saying I'm a badass, I guarantee you soft as these pillows I'm laying back on. It's just what it is. Do you get what I'm saying? So stop with all the identities. Stop with all the fake identities, because it's going to be hard to let those identities go when you feel like letting them go. You know, some people out here that actually grew up. Well, I guess they haven't actually grew up because they haven't grew up. But they kind of didn't grow up in their mind. Or they want to grow up so bad. They see that they need to grow up, but still don't, because these identities are something that's so hard to let go. Probably because you scared of what people gonna look at you as. You don't identify as what you don't. You nervous about what people gonna look at you as. That's probably what you're nervous about. It's the reason why people identify with the things they identify with. It's tough changing. It's going to be tough changing. People going to think you crazy when you say you don't identify with black. I don't identify with white. I don't identify with being a good person. I don't identify with being a bad person. I don't identify with none of that stuff. I am what I am. I am who I am. Whatever. Say what you want. But no, I don't identify with it, because once you start identifying with any of it, then you got to start looking at the other side of it too. It's much more peaceful not identifying with none of it. I'm cool on all of it. You feel me? Identify with peace. Identify with peace. True peace. Inner peace. Identify with that. You feel me? So you can see that you don't got to identify with all this different stuff to be who you going to be. To be the person that you going to be. It's not going to make you a weirdo if you drop all the identities. It's going to make you conscious of even all those identities that's out there. And knowing that there's another way to do it sounds smart to me. Why not try it? But yeah, man, just think about the things that I'm saying. Think about the identities that you hold on to, like on a regular basis, and see if there's something that you can do about it. See if there's something that you want to do about it. You feel me? See if there's something that you want to do about it, because I tell you this much: you don't want to blow your life, like literally blow your life. You don't want to end up doing 177 years because you identify so much with being black that some white boy called you a nigga and you killed them. Now you gotta do 170 years or some shit. You don't want to identify so much with being black that somebody call you a nigga and you throw your whole life away because of it. You get what I'm saying? And that's all I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You can try to take it to it and make it whatever you want, but that's what I'm talking about. You don't want to identify so much with something that somebody's used some words words, they hurt your feelings. You identify so much with your feelings and your emotions that you killed that person over it, or you harmed that person, or you killed yourself. You identify so much with yourself that you wanted to kill yourself because somebody called you ugly or because somebody called you fat. You identify so much with it that you want to hurt yourself because of it. What I'm saying is think about it. What I'm saying is stop identifying with those different things so the words that's coming out of somebody else's mouth won't be harmful to you. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Because that's all it's about. It's all about the stuff that you identify with. I mean, because if you skinny and somebody was like, oh, man, you're so fat, like, you don't identify with none of it. So I don't even care. Like, even if you fat, but you in the best shape of your life, and you might be a little bit fat, right? But you fast, you can backflip, you can do all types. Somebody like, oh, you fat. Like, bro, you don't identify with being fat because it's just not something that you identify with because you move around like you skin. You get what I'm saying? Like, man, what I'm saying is stop identifying with everything that's thrown your way. You don't gotta identify with everything that's thrown your way. They be coming up with new words like every 2-3 years, 3-4 years in the world, and everybody just identify with these different words. Like, realistically, they don't even know what they mean. You get what I'm saying? Just being honest, y'all, most of the time they don't even know what they mean. Like, they don't even know what the words mean. It's like, oh yeah, that sounds good to me. And you didn't even look into it. You get what I'm saying? And you'll fully identify with it. You fully identify with something that you don't even know what it mean. Like, for real, you ain't even really identify what it mean to you. You feel me? So how you identify with the word, you don't even know what it mean to you. Like, in a real way. Like, in a real way. You get what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. Feel me? Look into what you identify with. See if it's even beneficial to you. You get what I'm saying? See if it's beneficial to you. See if it's beneficial to you. See if it's harmful to you. See what's up. Don't just identify with stuff. Because at the end of the day, you need to figure out that all these identities need to be dropped. All of them. All these identities need to be dropped. Ain't no point in them. You feel me? But before you can see that, just take it one identity at a time. Just take it one identity, 2 identities at a time. Just drop one a week, one a month, one a year. You get what I'm saying? However, whatever it takes to start becoming a better version of you, a more peaceful version of yourself. You feel me? You got to start looking into yourself. We all got to start looking into ourselves. You feel me? We all start looking into ourselves. We all got to start looking into ourselves. For real. We all got to start looking into those identities that's not helpful to us. You can let them go. You can change them. Forfeit them. You feel me? You can just move on from them. Whatever it takes. You feel me? Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Let me tell y'all a story real quick. Kind of a personal story or whatever. But it's going to be quick. I'm going to breeze through it. Save the rest for my book. But as a child, I wasn't able to speak very, very clearly or whatever. And I identified with not being able to speak for so long that I just identified with not being able to speak for so long. It's just crazy to me. I mean, I still sometimes feel like I don't really like speaking. Even though I'm very comfortable with speaking, I'm very comfortable with myself. You feel me? But sometimes it still hit me like, you couldn't talk when you was a kid. Don't be trying to do too much. You feel me? You might want to be careful with that word. You feel me? That's a 4-syllable one. You might want to be careful with that one. That's a little bit different. You feel me? So, what I'm saying is if I allow that identity to hold me back, like in a real way, then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. You feel me? Not only would I not be doing what I'm doing, I couldn't, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be spreading this message that I'm spreading. You get what I'm saying? I wouldn't be the person that I am if I wasn't okay with looking myself in the mirror, letting myself know that me having that speech problem as a child is not who I am today. I'm a grown man. I gotta get over it. You feel me? Whatever. It's time to get over it. It's time to get over it. We passed that. You feel me? We passed that. All those little things, we have to be able to look at the little things that we just identify with so much. And we got to be able to get past them. You feel me? Because once we're able to get past those things, we're going to be able to see, like, we're going to see opportunities that we've never been able to see before. You get what I'm saying? We're going to see opportunities that we never actually been able to see before. Once I was comfortable with using my voice, my whole world, you get what I'm saying, what I was able to see, what I was able to accomplish was just completely different. Once I got comfortable with being able to use my voice, then my whole world changed. You feel me? Regardless of what people gonna think, I still kind of think about, like, what if somebody don't like this? Da da da. What if I can't say those words? What if I stutter? What if I, you feel me? What if I sound silly? You feel me? What if I don't complete the sentence? What if people don't understand what I'm saying? What if people, you get what I'm saying? Because a lot of time when I was young, because I couldn't talk, people couldn't understand what I was saying. And when I was younger, like before age 5, 6, I couldn't understand why people couldn't understand what I was saying. You feel me? Like, I'm like, why can't you understand me? But they looking at me like, cause bro, you not pronouncing the word correctly. You feel me? But for me, I didn't understand that. You feel me? So that right there was something, that an identity that I had to look into myself and be able to see. You feel me? So I can be able to drop it. You get what I'm saying? Like, that everybody maybe not aren't able to understand you. You get what I'm saying? And that's okay. Maybe you need to explain yourself a little bit better, and that's okay. Maybe you are stuttering. Maybe you do sound confusing, and that's okay. You get what I'm saying? Whatever it is that's going on, that's okay. Who cares? It's cool. What matters is me trying to get better. That's what matters to me, and me continuing what I got going on. Me identifying what identity I was holding on to, and me trying to push it out of my life, let it go. You get what I'm saying? And try to grow from it. You get what I'm saying? That's my point. That's my point of identifying these identities, so I can let them go. Because when we all carry so many identities that we hold on to. You get what I'm saying? It's so many identities that we hold on to. So many little, like, tedious, the littlest stuff that we just hold on to. I do that on a regular basis. We just have to figure out if those identities that we holding on to are beneficial to us. You get what I'm saying? Because some of them cannot be beneficial to us. It just is what it is. Some stuff cannot be beneficial to us, and those things that's not beneficial to us, we need to just let them go. You feel me? Those identities that we need to modify them. But most of these identities, all of these identities, I would say we need to just let them go. Just let them go. You feel me? So we can see peace. Peace. I I appreciate y'all. This right here is another episode of the Mind Peace Woke podcast. And oh yeah, check out my Instagram, Mind Peace Woke, all one word. Check out my clothing brand too, y'all. I got some hot clothing. You feel me? On the real. Check out the clothing brand, mpwcollection.com. Yeah, it's fire. You feel me? Mind Peace Woke. If we're able to control our mind and all those different thoughts, it will take us to a level of peace. And that's my definition for woke. Mind Peace Woke. This right here is another episode of the Mind Peace Woke podcast. This your boy Justin, and I am out of here. Hey y'all, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all next week.